Hi, everyone. Get yourself settled in. Hopefully you can get your guitar in good position, whatever way you like to hold it. And feel free to use the chat box down there. Let us know you're here if you want. No, not urgent one way or the other if you do or not. And I'm going to we're going to be working on Frère Jacques this morning, I believe, right? That's what I told you guys. Brother John is what we're going to be working on. So you hopefully downloaded that from the website and have a copy of that in front of you. If you don't, on this particular song, you'll be fine without the sheet music. And let me get my copy up. Anytime you type the word fingerstyle into YouTube, you get people popping in and out because they think, I don't know, I guess they're hoping magic happens by them just briefly touching base with it. But please feel free to let me know if you're who you are and if you want to chat box over there. I think we'll go ahead and get started and we'll see who shows up. This is level 1, lesson 1. Don't know anything about playing guitar. Don't know anything about anything musical. And the idea with this particular lesson is just to get you comfortable with a different style of play. Most of the time when you take lessons from guitar teachers out there, they're going to start you off with strumming the guitar. I have found that to be a very... Hi, Alan. I'm not going to sneeze or cough. I did have to accept a delivery from the toilet paper delivery guy for the building just a minute ago. So who knows if I'm still healthy or not. Anyway, getting back to where we're at, most guitar teachers are going to teach you a few handful of chords, and then you're going to spend a long time learning how to do chords. I find that to be a bit, I don't know. I don't like that method of teaching guitar. So I teach you melody first. This is beginning 1, level 1 of fingerstyle. Let's talk about a few things that I think are very important for you to make sure you have a positive experience in fingerstyle guitar, frankly, in any style of guitar. And so let's get started on that stuff. First of all, please notice I'm using a guitar with plastic strings on the bottom. It does not matter what type of guitar you start on. I recommend that you don't start on a guitar that costs $150, but yeah, again, whatever guitar you own, that's your guitar, use that one. If you haven't changed the strings in the last year, you need to do that. You need to change strings once a year, whether you use them or not. And so please don't be shy about getting your strings changed. If you're here in Denver, I'm happy to do it for $25 to change your strings. If you're not in Denver, any guitar shop anywhere will change them for about $35. So get some strings put onto your guitar and make sure that it sounds as good as it can. And then your guitar is your guitar. If you have a metal string guitar, that's fine in fingerstyle. Most fingerstyle players, that's what they use. If you don't have if metal string guitar and you have a plastic string guitar, again, perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter what style of guitar it has, matters what you do with it. Let's tune the guitar. The phrase that pays, Eddie 8 Dynamite, Goodbye Eddie, and those from string 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Eddie 8 Dynamite, Good by Eddie, E-A-D-G-D-E. Let's have you grab your guitar. Let's have you tune up. Let's hear your E string. Let's hear your A string. Let's hear your D string. G string, B string, E string. Okay. Very quickly, if you don't own a Snart, you should buy one. Down here at the studio, you only sell the top of the line ones. They've got best computer in them or high definition digital readout. These things are tremendous. You buy them, clip them onto the end, point them at you, turn it on, clip it. It tells you if your ukulele. I've been giving ukulele lessons all day. Your guitar is online, and that way you will be able to make sure that you're in tune. You can also download a tuner from the App Store into your phone. Those are not accurate, and they can't be used if there's other noise going on in the room. But at least it's something to tune your guitar that's free. Last thing, back in the day, we had tuning forks, and we did a relative tuning. And to tune relative, just to double check after you've tuned up that your guitar is in good tuning, you go down the 5th fret here. Okay, fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4. If I hold down the top string at the 5th fret, it sounds the same as the string right below it. Okay. I do the same thing with the 5th string. It will sound at the 5th string, 5th fret, sounds the same as the one below it. 5th fret, 4th string sounds the same as below it. Here's where it gets wild. 4th fret, 3rd string sounds the same as the one below it. And then back to the 5th fret, 2nd string, 1st string sound the same. That helps you get in tune. If you have a really cheap clip-on tuner, you may need to come down here to the 12th fret and pluck them here. To get the harmonics out of it. The harmonics make those cheap tuners, you know, the $9 ones that you bought on Amazon thinking it was a great deal. They have a hard time reading the lower strings on a guitar. So I'll use the harmonics to isolate the tone, make sure that I'm getting something into the tuner that makes some sense. We do have modern technology that can make your guitar life easier. When I go see classical guitarists, they of course have really solid pitch. They usually don't use a tuner. They usually do relative tuning just to get the guitar to be in tune with itself. And of course, their ears have, after years and years of training, they don't necessarily need a tuner the same way us mere mortals do. And so get a good tuner, and that'll save you a lot of work. Okay, tuning. Let's talk about how I'm holding the guitar and how you should hold the guitar and what I'm going to tell you, and then what you're probably going to do. Okay. Correct posture on guitar is probably very important if you want to make your life easier. Okay, so I happen to have a guitar, probably cost $25 from Sears back in the day. I don't know. It's got a plywood top on it. It's a silly little guitar. It sounds fine to me. Good enough for teaching with, and it is nothing special. But when I play, how I hold it is important. So the two things that I recommend: one, getting one of these little stools that they sell, right? I carry these down at the studio. Let's get in focus. I carry these down here at the studio, $15, $20, sometimes $30 for the fancy ones. You really do need to own one of those. That goes under your left foot. Second thing I have is just a plain old regular chair with no arms on it. And I think these chairs are from the 40s as well. I found them here in the building. Next thing, my other foot. They teach you a couple of different things. They should teach you to keep your right foot flat on the floor. I notice when I play, I have a tendency to tuck it underneath the chair, but you really want to do whatever it takes to reduce the amount of stress and pressure and tension in your lower body. And so wherever your foot goes that it feels the best, do that. Next thing is your back. You really do want your spine piled up on top of itself. You do want to have a nice, steady, even, flat posture here. You're going to be playing a lot of hours, and to get anywhere where you're any good at this, finding a nice, comfortable way to sit is better. You'll notice as I'm playing today, I'll have this tendency to slouch just a little bit, and that's not ideal. It's going to put pressure and tension on my lower back. The other thing is, with your shoulders, you want them loose and funky, right? Just nice and easy. When we tend to play, we tend to get like this, but that's not ideal at all. We want to keep this nice and steady, okay? Head on top of your spine. You are going to end up leaning out to see some stuff on your guitar from time to time, and so we don't, we want to minimize how much stress and your tension you're putting on there. Bottom line is, We want the least amount of tension. You're going to be spending a lot of hours behind your guitar, and the more tension and the more weird things you do with the body, the sooner you're going to have injuries. You're just going to get fatigued faster. All that stuff is not good for you. Next thing, notice my right hand is basically straight up and down, or left hand, left arm, whatever this arm is. This one's basically, we want to keep this as straight as we can. You'll notice when I play, I have a tendency to do a little bit of this. Again, not ideal. We're going to want to keep that as straight as we can. Notice my right arm feels pretty comfy right about here. The guitar, notice I got it about a 60-degree angle here, maybe a little higher, maybe a little this. That is ideal. That's what we want when we're playing guitar. Here's what's probably going to happen. If you have a Western style guitar, and you'll know that because you have a pick guard on here, or really if you have any other kind of guitar experience, there's a good chance you're going to end up playing like this, right? Again, this is the way people play. It's okay, but it is not the best way. When you drop the neck of your guitar, you end up having to do this weird thing with your wrist, and that's going to shorten your playing career, right? It's just not that great to have your wrist in that position. And more importantly, if you put a strap on your guitar and stand up, you're going to notice it falls into this position on your body when you're standing up anyway. So when you're ready to go star at Red Rocks, that's how your guitar is going to be on your body, and which is typical classical guitar playing. And so just know when you're at home practicing, you're really, really smart. Just accept the fact that classical guitar players know more than we think, and that this is the correct way to hold your guitar. Again, you can try other things. Probably none of them are necessarily going to be good for you. It might work, and so let's just let it be what it is. All right, now let's talk about getting some sound out of the guitar. That's guitar posture. That's what we talk about. Let's get our sound out of the guitar. Hopefully you've been to denverguitarorchestra.com, the website, and downloaded today's lesson. It's called Brother John. This piece of sheet music has every single thing that you would need to know how to play fingerstyle guitar, with the exception of a detailed description of arpeggio picking. So if this is not unimportant, this piece of paper will teach you just about every single thing you need to know to play fingerstyle guitar. It will also get you really far along in playing classical guitar. We'll spend a little bit of time talking about how folk musicians would approach a song like this. And frankly, this gets you a long way. Question always comes up between electric guitar and acoustic guitar. If you're a guitar player, you need to know how to play an acoustic guitar. If you want to be cool, play an electric guitar. But you should know how to play both. Okay. All right, Brother John. It's all going to be in the key of E, and we're going to start by making our E chord. When you are chording an instrument, the chord shapes are always listed vertically. You'll see a heavy line on the top of that. The E chord shows the heavy line is the nut. That's this white thing here. And then it shows you the 6 strings going down vertically. And it shows you some black dots on there as to where to put your fingers. To make the E chord, I'm going to lean forward, 3rd string from the bottom, index finger, middle finger goes on the 2nd fret, top 5th string, and then your ring finger goes right underneath that on the 4th string. Okay, so index finger 1st, middle finger 2nd, ring finger 3rd. Okay, that's an E chord. Okay, E chord's nice. We can strum all 6 strings. In guitar, it's not particularly normal for us to strum all of the strings all at the same time, but on the E chord, we can do that. Okay, your other thing to pay attention to, notice where my thumb is. You can't see my thumb, maybe a little sticking up there. We want that thumb to be hanging around right behind the middle finger. Okay, so if I pull that up there, you're going to see my middle finger is hanging out right in front of where the thumb is. That's what we want. On the back of the guitar neck, my thumb is basically hanging out just like this. Okay, that's what we want. We want that thumb to be the pad of this up against the neck, and we want your thumb basically perpendicular to the instrument. Okay, that's what we're working on. Let's play this. A word of warning, I am not a singer. You will figure that out within 2 syllables. I do it because we have to, and it's your job to tolerate it. Or you go find one of the pretty girls teaching guitar on YouTube. They know how to sing. All right, we're going to do a basic, simple thumb strum. 1, 2, ready, play. Frère, Jacques, Frère, Jacques, dormez-vous, dormez-vous, sonnez les matines, sonnez les matines, ding, ding, dong, ding, ding, dong. Always let your guitar ring out. Don't take up your chord until the guitar is done doing what it needs to do. If it rings on for too long, you can take your hand and just close it down like this. You just take your palm and sort of slide it up over the strings. Don't do that. Don't slap down on the top of your guitar to get the sound to stop. Okay. Step 1 in fingerstyle guitar, learning your basic chords. Okay. So that's that. Step 2, very important, we got to get the melody out of the guitar and not out of your face. Okay, we certainly don't want the melody coming out of my face because I am a terrible singer. So we're going to learn to read tablature, and that's probably the most important thing that you can do as a fingerstyle guitarist is get really, really comfortable with tablature. So first line on your sheet music, Brother John shows all of the chords. In this case, it's always E chord. Second line has got the standard notation. That is very important to learn how to read that. Most guitarists these days that are classically trained, they can read standard notation just fine. Most other guitarists don't get very comfortable with this, and it's silly. It's going to make you a smarter player. So spend a little bit of time getting to know the length of notes, getting to know reading them vertically, where those notes show up on your guitar. It's worth your time. Second thing underneath there is the guitar melody line. That's your tablature. Notice there's 6 lines on there. It represents all of your strings. The strings are upside down. It's as if I'm holding the guitar up and looking at it from like this on my tablature. What you'll find is the string on the bottom of your guitar, string number 1, is on the top of the paperwork. So it's actually upside down. When they first published the first published tablature was from the late 1500s, I believe, maybe late 1400s. It was actually written the other way around. And then in the 16th century, they decided that the pedagogical reason for playing guitar made a lot more sense. And so they do it this way now. All right. On your guitar melody line, you're going to play only with your thumb, and you're only going to play this first string until the very end of the song. So you want to grab your guitar, grab the first string, you're going to play open. Then the next one on that guitar melody line is a 2. You're going to take your middle finger, you're going to press down in the 2nd fret, not on the wires themselves, not on the fret wires, but in the middle, and you're going to play a 2. The next note is a 4. You're going to take your pinky, you're going to put that on your 4th fret. You don't need to lift that one up, and play the 4, and then play an open. Okay? Open, 2, 4, open. Open, middle, pinky, open, open, middle, pinky, open. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0. Are you sleeping? That's all you're going to do to get the melody coming out of your guitar. That's all you need to know. That's how we're going to get melody out of guitar. We're going to read those tablature lines and one note at a time. I like using my thumb to get started with. Eventually, we're going to be using these two fingers, dun 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 dun, to get to make yourself a little faster and to make things more complicated and all that stuff. But right now, thumb is playing. Fine. Let's go to measure 3. Measure 3, the numbers are 4, 5, and 7. Okay, we're going to talk positional playing. When you are a guitarist, this is position 1, okay, because your index finger is in the 1st fret, position 2, position 3, position 4, and so on, going all the way down your guitar. We're going to go to position 4. Now, notice my guitar doesn't have any dots on the front. Yours will have one probably on the front. If they don't, they usually have the dots on the side here. And I might have a dot on 5 and a dot on 7, dot on 9. Okay, most guitars have dots 4, 5, and 7. So you again, everything's on the 1st string. 4, 5, 7. Okay, index, middle, pinky. Index, middle, pinky, not lifting up any fingers, just playing. Index, middle, pinky, 4, 5, 7. Okay, sounds okay. That's what we're doing. So the first 2 measures, 0, 2, 4, 0. Then we'll slide up to 4th position, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7. That's how we're going to play. Last part of the difficult part of the song is in measures 5 and 6, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Those are the frets we got to get to. We're going to have to extend our hand just a little bit to get to all of these notes. So we're going to start with 7, ring finger on 7. Again, everything's going to be on this 1st string. 7, pinky up on 9. That's a little bit of a stretch. 9, go back to your ring finger on 7. Middle finger on 5, index finger on 4, and then open. So 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. Ring, pinky, ring, middle, index, open. 1, dum, 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 dum. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. That's what we're working on here, is getting melody out so I don't have to sing, so I don't, if I don't like singing or I have a terrible voice, most of us shouldn't be singing because frankly we sound ridiculous. Let's get the guitar to do the job for us, okay? And now, last part of the song, measure 7 and 8. You've got a 0 on the 1st string, a 0 on the 2nd string, and a 0 on the 1st string. So it's 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string, 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string. Okay, so we're going to go through and we're now going to play the whole song. I like to start, we'll play 2 measures, then we'll stop, we'll refinger, play 2 measures, and so on. Okay, so we're going to play measures 1 and 2 and 0, 2, 4, 0. Ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0. Now let's slide up to 4th position. Next 3 notes are 4, 5, 7. 4, 5, 7. Let's do it again. 4, 5, 7. Next set of notes, we're going to play them in half speed. The sheet music says to play them much faster than we're going to right now. I'm going to play 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Ready? With your ring, go. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Okay. And then the last 2 measures, measure 7 and 8. 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string, 1st string, 2nd string, 1st string. Let the guitar ring out. They have nice sustain. Let the guitar help you do its job. Okay, let's play all the way through. We're going to start on the first. We're going to start on the 1st measure and play all the way through 8. Okay, when we get to the bottom of 8, we're going to go back and we'll play it a 2nd time. Okay, here's something important about reading repeats on sheet music. Notice in measure 8, it says go back. The last thing on measure 8 is a double bar with the dots on it. That means go back. Okay, so and then in the beginning of measure 1, you'll see a forward repeat saying go back to here and go forward. What we do once we get there, we're going to go forward. When you get to measure 8, don't play measure 8 again. Skip over and play measure 9. Okay, so we're going to go 1 through 8, then we're going to go back and play 1 through 7, skip measure 8, and play 9 and 10. That's how we read the first and second repeats. Okay, from the beginning, we're going to play the middle part, that 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. We're going to play it at half speed. Then we'll go back and we'll play it at full speed in just a minute, but do it at half speed right now. 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. I went too fast. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string, go to the top. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, slow. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. Measure 9, first string, second string, first string. Sorry, I was 7. Here's 9. First string, second string, first string. Let it ring. Okay. When you're shutting your guitar down, roll that up. That way it doesn't keep ringing forever and you sound nice. Okay. Now, last time through, we're going to play 7, 9, 7, 5. We're going to play that much faster. Okay. When you need to play a section of a song much faster, it's super smart to remember music is all relative. And so we want to play that first part a little slower so that we got an opportunity to play the fast part in proper tempo. Okay. Grab your guitar. Get in a nice playing position. Make sure your thumb isn't where I can see it. I can't see it anyway. You're good. And let's go through and play the whole song. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0 will be quite a bit faster. Nice and steady. 1, 2, ready, play. 0, 2, 4, 0, 0, 2, 4, 0, 4, 5, 7, 4, 5, 7, fast. 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0, 7, 9, 7, 5, 4, 0. First string, second string, first string, first string, second string, first string. Let's play it again. Frère, Jacques, Frère, Jacques, do, mi, do, do, mi, do, so, ne, le, ma, ti, ne, so, ne, le, ma, ti, ne. First string, second string, first string, measure 9. First string, second string, first string, and let it ring. Okay, that's playing melody. That's how you read tablature. The big thing is once you can read tablature, you can play all fretted instruments. And so it's not unimportant for you to get where you can read tablature. Again, remembering tablature is upside down. It tells you where to put your fingers on the frets over here, and then you get to decide what the best and most efficient system for using your right hand is to play those. Right now, I'd say just start with your thumb and play it that way. All right. So you've now played this piece of music with chords, and you've also played it with straight melody. The other thing on here, this is not for everybody. This is the advanced level. This is where fingerstyle begins, is I wrote out a fingerstyle arrangement for this song. Now, I think it's important you note that on one chord songs, the chord melody versions are much harder than on multiple chord songs that you're going to play in level 2. So I don't really care if you can play the fingerstyle version of Frère, Jacques. It's super, or Brother John in this case, super complicated, super difficult, really not pleasant on the fretboard. A lot of this stuff is just really going to be wonky to make it work. On other songs in level 2 and level 3, they're much more cooperative. And frankly, every other song in level 1 is more cooperative for the most part than this song. So this is just one of those things where you want to start practicing and getting to understand what the music looks like and how to handle it best. In this case, I'm going to pluck everything. So instead of thumbing it, I'm going to use these 3 fingers, right? These 3 fingers, I'm going to anchor them on these 3 strings. So thumb on the 3rd string, index on the 2nd string, and middle finger on the 1st string. Okay? This business of plucking these 3 is essential for fingerstyle guitar play down the road. Again, it won't matter if you're on a metal string guitar, a plastic string guitar, or a banjo for that matter. That exact motion is going to come up so much in ukulele and so much in guitar and so much in all of these other multi-string fretted instruments that this is something you should be working on every single day. Okay? First notes are a 1 on the 3rd string, and then the rest are open. Then I'm going to do a 2. In this case, because of my index finger, I can use my middle finger here, or I can use my ring finger, or I can use my pinky. Doesn't really matter. I'm probably going to use my middle finger because I think it makes the most sense. Again, holding down that 1 through this whole measure. And then the 4, pinky's got to go way out there. And then get rid of all those guys, continuing to hold on to this. Measure 2 is exactly the same. Okay. That shape, I don't necessarily care that it's a full E chord in this moment. On the other songs, I will care. I always recommend people grab their chord and then they can play the rest of the song or the rest of the measure probably, just holding that chord. But in this case, the only thing I need to hold for sure is my index finger. It's never going to move, and I'm playing middle and pinky to get everything else on there. Bum, 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 bum. Now, I'm now moving on to measures 3 and 4. I noticed my tablature says 4-5-4, which, look at here, guys. It's a D shape, but it's moved up to 4, okay? So I've got this index finger here, middle finger here, ring finger out front. Index finger on 4, middle finger on 4, ring finger out front. That's 4-5-4, okay? The only thing that changes in this measure, measure 3, is I'm going to pluck all 3. Then I'm going to add my pinky on at 5. I'm going to stretch it out to 7. And then I have 2 pretty notes there, 5, 4. So I'm going to do this D shape, D chord shape. Those of you who know your D chord, okay? You're going to get that D chord shape, pluck, pluck, pluck. Door, may, boo. That's what you're working on there. And then the pretty notes at the end, 5, 4, 5, 4. That's just my index finger and then my middle finger hitting the floor. Okay, let's do measures 3 and 4 together. 1, 2, ready, play. That's all we're looking at, okay? So let's put measures 1, 2, 3, and 4 together as a group, starting with my index finger here. Ready, play. It's a lot. Hopefully that's making some sense to you. If it's not, probably need to work on melody a little while longer. Just know that that's what's sitting there on that line. Next measures 5 and 6. I'm giving you 7, 9, 7, 5, and then I go to that same 4-5-4 pattern, pluck, and then I'm going to lift my middle finger up to get the 0. Okay, so it's going to be okay. We'll do that twice. Ready? From the top, or I'm sorry, from measure 5. Ready? Play. 7, 9, 7, 5. Pluck, pluck. 7, 9, 7, 5. Pluck, pluck. That's all we're doing. Okay. Then on the last measure, 7 and 8, I'm going to hold that 4. He's never going to move. And now I'm going to use, let me get my fingers set up right. Got thumb, index, middle. I'm going to do outsides, insides, outsides, 5. Outsides, insides, outsides, 5. Okay. And on the second ending, all I'm going to be doing is give you a full strum on the end. Okay. Now, again, playing with me in tempo, pretty challenging when you're sight reading the song. Unless you've really studied this song, it's hard to play with me, but I want you to know what you're supposed to do. That way you can go and work on this yourself. Typically, on the tough axe line, chord melody, fingerstyle, all those words are synonymous, more or less. On that line, you're not playing it with somebody else anyway. It's way too difficult, and you generally have to adjust your tempo a little bit based on how hard the chord shape is. But when we play together, one of us grabs melody, one of us grabs chords, we play duets all day long, everybody's happy. But when you're playing fingerstyle guitar, you're doing the whole job yourself, and so you tend not to play with somebody else. So I'm going to do the best job I can in keeping the tempo steady and slow. We're going to play through it twice. We're going to play through it all the way through measure 8. We're going to go back up, play through measure 1, down to 7, skip measure 8, and play measures 8 to the end. Okay? I'm sorry, 9 to the end. So let's see how we do. See how I do, right? Maybe you're playing along with me. If you're playing along with me and you're not ready for the tough axe or fingerstyle line, just give me the chords, right? Give me a nice steady beat with this. Or if you're working on reading tablature, play the melody right along with me. Those are your goals, right? So you got one piece of paper, you can play it melody, you can play it chords, you can play it duet, you can play it tough axe or fingerstyle. Whatever works for you works for everybody else, okay? Nice and slow. I'm playing the tough axe line. I'm going to play this entire song twice. 1, 2, ready, play. Let the guitar ring. Don't take your chord off until the guitar is done doing what it needs to do. Slide your hand up here to get it to stop ringing forever. Okay, then you can take everything off. Notice the other thing that you know is I made plenty of mistakes as I'm playing through there. Hopefully you don't even know that I made a mistake, right? That nothing shows up on my face, my body doesn't contort. I just let the mistakes exist and I keep moving forward. You're going to make it. If you're not making mistakes, you're not making music. And so the big thing here is if you're not going to accept the fact that mistakes happened, then there are no mistakes. Just let them roll on through. You got to move on to the next note. When you're playing with others, you'll get a lot better by just letting mistakes be mistakes and moving forward on those. That's enough for today. Hopefully you guys got a general sense of what I'm talking about with fingerstyle. Couple of things to think about at home. Print this out, and honestly, you could do yourself a huge service by just playing this song for about 2 weeks. Just really get where you know every single mark on that paper. I will. Oops, looks like I might be disconnected. Okay, hopefully I'm still connected. I don't know, got a weird sign on there. If I'm still connected, here's what you should do. Go get signed up at denverguitarorchestra.com, put your email address in there, get on the email list. Everything is free there, so don't worry about spending any money. My job is to get you where you're playing, where you understand how to read tablature really solid and can play fingerstyle at a high level. There are much better, much fancier, much better guitarists out there offering really expensive lessons, and good for them. Hopefully you're spending some money on them. Hi, Linda. Glad you got your guitar out. We're just wrapping up, Linda. So hopefully I'll see you in the next lesson. We will be doing level 1 first, then we're going to go to level 2 and level 3, and then that's going to be enough for today. I'm going to be worn out. And then so the next lesson in level 2, I can't remember what the first song is. Oh, it's a Tisket, a Tasket. Again, guys, with fingerstyle guitar, does not matter what the song is. It just matters what skills you're trying to work on to get better at it. Eventually, you'll find your song that you think is awesome, and then you'll be really great. All right. Thanks, Linda. Have a great day. And so please, send me an email. Let me know what I can do for you, and let's move forward. I will see some of you at 2 o'clock for a Tisket, a Tasket on level 2. Have a great day. Thanks. Ending the stream. Thanks, Alan. I'll go wash. Good idea.